Hey, my name's Andrew Wilson, and I'm the Mechanical Service Instructor here at the Joint Apprenticeship Training Trust, Mechanical Trades Institute, and we're going to go over a little bit about brazing operations. Now, previously, we viewed Mike Hall and Brandon Baxter, our plumber and pipe fitter instructor, and they have did a good demonstration on cutting the pipe, safety operations, etc., etc. And we're here to cover that and move it on into brazing operations. The same things that you learned over there will apply over here, but there's just a few different things that you've got to do when you're brazing versus when you're soldering. First off, brazing is generally done at much higher temperatures than soldering, where most solder melts around 400 to 450 degrees. Brazing alloys melt at a much higher temperature, most of the time over 1200 degrees. We use brazing filler metal in the brazing process for a much higher temperature and also for a lot more vibration. And when you have extreme pressures with extreme temperatures and vibration all in one, you end up needing a much stronger joint. Now, the brazing filler metal, the alloy that we're using, this is 5% silver, and it contains phosphorus in it as well. Now, you can get different grade silver in these, 5, 10, 15%, all which give you a little bit different flow characteristics. You can even get what's known as zero, but it still contains a small amount of silver for good flow and a good bond. Before we get started, we want to go over a few things about safety. You want to always have safety glasses on anytime you're performing any kind of mechanical work or anytime you're in an environment that requires this type of safety eyewear. If you notice, I also have a darker set of lenses, which is for the brazing process. Brazing has a little bit brighter flames than the soldering process and requires a little bit higher shade number. You also want to make sure you're in the appropriate clothing. Long sleeve, long shirt, no cuffs in your jeans. Your pockets, you'll want to have them shut. It's a good idea. And if you're going to be kneeling down, it's a good thing to have a cap over your head. And of course, gloves. Hearing protection if you're doing extremely loud brazing where you're using real extreme pressures, it can become noisy as well. Now, what we have here is 1-inch copper, and we just have a basic coupling, and we're just going to go over the basic process. A few things that you'll need when you do this is you're going to need the appropriate tools, because what you're going to have to do if your rig is not already placed together and assembled, you're going to have to go through several safety precautions and safety checks to make sure you're safe to even perform the process. You're going to need a good adjustable wrench if you don't have the exact wrench, and if you have the exact wrench, of course, you can utilize it. Never do you want to utilize these because the fittings are designed for a particular size wrench or an adjustable wrench.